Hello, this is Ransom1690 back with another video, and today I'm gonna talk about how sex is evil. And now, when you get brought into this world, you have some parents who may act like they did you a favor by bringing you here. And I know mine's particularly is like that. She'll say things like, oh, if it wasn't for this, and that, you wouldn't be here. If I hadn't have met the man that I met, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be the person you are today. As if that's a good thing that she wound up meeting this man and bringing us here. And I'm gonna try not to repeat myself because I think I made my point already that she really wasn't a good parent. But me personally, I really don't think sex should be something that people should be doing willy-nilly, especially if they don't feel the inclination to be good parents. And if you ask me, I know I'm gonna sound extreme here, but I honestly think there should be strict regulations placed on sex. I really do. I believe sex should just be banned outright. And yeah, that sounds pretty extreme, but that's just where I am at it right now. Because how many lives that have come into this world have been ruined because of that stupid activity, people feeling horny, and so they spread their legs or open up their pants and shove their dicks, their penises. I'm gonna try not to be too vulgar at least, but they shove their penises into some woman, and these women spread their legs, and oh, oops, now there is a fucking kid here who has to deal with all the bullshit of life. And I remember reading a comment on a video once that said that a lot of us, we're just oops children. We're just accidents. We weren't intended to be here. We are just here because two people got horny and they screwed each other. And I don't know what to really say about that other than I think it's messed up. But it is what it is on that one. Just that's all I gotta say on that one. Originally, I wasn't gonna make this video. I was gonna make another video where I was saying that we as anti-natalists need to just focus on reducing our own suffering rather than worry about what other people do with their own lives and with their own bodies. And I decided not to post that video because after that, I thought about what I said. And I thought about my situation, and I just started thinking, so considering all the things that all of us here already go through, how can you just not care about the suffering that a potential life is going to go through from being brought here through sex? How can you say just turn a blind eye. Just whatever someone else does, let them do it because it's their choice to do it. When that choice may lead to suffering for another individual being born into this horrible society. Because I know I wouldn't. I'm here and I hate it, and I didn't like it. So why would you just turn a blind eye and say, oh, it is what it is, it's nothing we can do anyway? Just focus on yourselves. When you know you would have wanted someone to speak out for you being brought in this world and going through all of this suffering. How can you go through all the pains in this life and think like that? So I didn't post a video, and I agree. I wholeheartedly agree that antinatalism is the way. People should not be bringing kids into this world. And I know I've said in previous videos that I try to see it from both ends, but I don't think I can continue to do that. I really don't. Because the fact of the matter is, there is a whole lot of bullshit going on with this sex thing. Like, parents can just have sex, bring the kid into the world, and see. And what a lot of people think is that a parent has to be, like, I don't know, just something really ghastly to be considered horrible parents. Like, they have to be what you hear off of a lot of true crime or TV, where they really highlight the physical and mental abuses of parents. But it doesn't always have to go like that. It can be something where you have a mom or dad who just does enough to put food on the table, to put a roof over your head, but they don't teach you about life. They don't teach you any skills like how to drive that can help you to get to the places that you need to go, which is really important when you're job hunting. They can handicap you on purpose, like what mine did. They will tell you, oh, well, don't listen to these people. Don't do this. Don't go to this place and enroll in this program, and instead wait for me because I'm going to teach you these things that you need to know to survive. Just wait a little bit longer, and then those days turns into years and you still haven't been taught shit. But if you try to go and do something by yourself, then you're being yelled at, you're being threatened, and you're being shut down. Literally what happened to me all throughout my childhood to early adulthood. And so all a parent can do is just enough to say that they weren't neglectful, but not enough to prepare you for society. So as soon as you turn 18, when the law legally says you're an adult, they can just kick you out. They are no longer required to do anything for you after that point, which is messed up. Because they can essentially just set you up to fail. And as soon as you turn into an adult, they throw you to the wolves. And so that's why I feel like sex is evil, because there is nothing in place for people having sex to hold them accountable, real accountability, when these kids come into this world. And I was thinking about that when I was watching a video by I forgot his name. I think his name is the Rant Man, or the I'm sure it's gonna come to me after I post this video. That how his mom did the same thing to him, constantly held him back, telling him he wasn't able to do anything, that he's autistic. You know, when he go out, just constantly calling him on the phone, hey, where you at? Just not letting him really learn anything or teaching him anything herself to where he will be ready for life. And that's the same thing that my mom did to me. And I think it's very unfortunate when you have people who get brought up in that kind of circumstance, because when you get out here on your own, stuff is a whole lot harder. Not only do you not know what to do, or like where to turn, what avenues to go down to get on your feet, but while you're out there fumbling around, your folks can just have a vendetta against you, and they can just kick you out right there. And that immediately just screws you over right then. So it's like you're on borrowed time at that point. As soon as you turn into an adult and you still haven't learned anything or know what to really do, you are on borrowed time. And that's how it feels for me every single day. It feels like all that needs to happen is I just get into an altercation with my mom one good time, and then it's over. She can call the police, or even if she's in the wrong and I call the police, they're gonna take her side because they feel like, oh, well, it's her house, and so she can basically do whatever she wants, which is another fucked up mentality that goes on in this society. Yeah, I'm making a video right now. So. Yeah, that's my mom. So I'm gonna try to cut this out, but if it's still in, oh well. Gotta be careful she don't hear none of this. But anyway, that's what it feels like. It feels like that anything can go wrong for any reason, and that I may not have enough time to really get everything set in place to where I can have a successful life before she clowns again. And then I'm out there on the streets, which she has been talking about putting me for the last 3 years. She has been talking about kicking me out on the streets. And going through that every day is really stressful. I would not wish anyone to go through that. Waking up every day knowing that something can go wrong, and that something out of your control can lead to an argument that winds you up in a worse position. That is stressful. And so that goes back to my whole thing with sex. Why do parents feel like they can just have sex and bring people into this world, and that they don't have to do everything to prepare their kids for success. The school system doesn't do it. They don't give a shit. All they care about is fucking indoctrinating you with all this useless shit just for you to pass a grade, because the more grades, just for you to pass a test, because the more tests you have, the more kids you have with high grade point average, the better that it makes the school district looks. And so I believe they get more funding for that. I remember hearing stuff about that when I was in school. So you going to school, making good grades, passing tests, it's not about preparing you for society. It's not about you at all. It's about that fucking school district looking good in the eyes of the public so they can get more funding. So I already said this before, at least I think I did, but I graduated and I still didn't know how to fucking do anything or what I wanted to do in my life. And the person who was supposed to teach me didn't teach me anything. I am 31 years old and I still don't know how to drive, and I'm gonna keep making that a point because a lot of kids learn when they're 15. So now that I'm an adult, I'm being looked at as, oh, well, you're already supposed to have your shit together. Like, you're magically supposed to know this stuff to survive when you turn 18, 19, 20, 21. And that's wrong. So I believe that just so no life can be brought into this hell, and let's say even if they do get taught everything they need to know, they're still gonna go through suffering. They're still gonna more than likely have to work shit jobs just to get by. Let's say even if they go to college or university or whatever, they're still gonna have to go through stress to do good in order for the time and the money to have been worth it. And like I said in my last video, sometimes it may not work out. Even when they put their best foot forward, they may just come out and still may not be able to get the job in their field, but they would have amassed a lot of debt. So they're still going through stress, even when they're supposedly ready for society, that it may not even work out. So I feel like the best thing is to just not bring anyone into this world to go through that stress, because y'all, every time I wake up, I am stressed out. Like, it was hard for me to get up today, and I literally have to make myself get up every day because of the stresses of being in the environment that I am in, of having to try to figure something out with my life, having to go to all these government places to get help and being told the same bullshit over and over and over again. And so I know the pain too much of going through this life to not care about what someone else is doing, bringing another victim into this world to possibly suffer. I can no longer sit here and say that, oh, it doesn't have anything to do with me because it is what other people do with themselves. And I think that's a problem with this society. It's really apathetic. It's way too apathetic. Everyone just wants to mind their own businesses, and well, whatever happens to someone else will. And I just cannot be that way. Not anymore. Not after the suffering that I've went through. So I do feel like that we can put the word out there that it is wrong to have children. It is, and again, I think sex is just wrong in general. I'm certainly never having sex, and I know what some people may say, that, oh, what you mean you're never gonna have sex? Well, you mean you don't like no female? Because that's what my older brother usually say. You mean if you saw like a woman with a big booty and this and that, you wouldn't want to smash her? And I tell him, yeah. I mean, no, I wouldn't want to. Because first off, that stuff doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't do anything for me, you see. Maybe in high school, was I blue-pilled, I guess you can say, just really constantly thinking about females and relationships. But when I graduated and started going through the shit in my life, I don't know what happened to me to make me like this, but it's like everything, like my desire for a female companion, my desire for sex or for relationships, it just turned off. And I know that sounds weird, but I am happy. I am a 31-year-old virgin, and I am proud of that. And I wear that as a badge of honor. Even more so now that I'm an anti-natalist, because I know that I am not partaking in an evil act that could bring someone into this world who can go through suffering. And that's all there is to it. And I try to funnel my energy into more productive things like art. That's really the main thing that keeps me going, is practicing my craft. I try to engage in meaningful stories that also inspire me. I try to look at art and get inspired. That is my love. That is my companion. And so whatever emotions I'm feeling at the moment, that's what I try to funnel it into. But I would tell you that I would rather that than to give into a natural instinct that is, again, I will reiterate, is evil. It is evil, and it should be banned. Again, is what I think. I would rather what I'm doing now with my craft than to give into that horrible, evil, bodily instinct, I don't know, whatever the hell you want to call it, and be responsible for someone suffering in this world because I wanted to cream in some woman's, I don't know, body part, vagina, I don't fucking know, whatever you call it, coochie. And another thing is, I don't understand why people around here think that's a big deal anyways. Like, oh, coochie. Like, what? I mean, I looked up online what that shit actually looks like up close, and it looks fucking disgusting as shit. It's like, this is what got men going crazy, is some nasty ass body part that, ooh, I don't even know. Looks like fucking chitlins or some shit. Like raw goddamn chitlins or shoes. Like, it looks fucking disgusting, and I'm thinking, I came out of that. What the fuck? Like, I don't get people, you know? It just doesn't make any sense, man. Like, people get excited over the stupidest stuff, man. But that's my video for now.